Hey, man. Curtis. We did it, man.
Where's it at?
It's right here,
Where's
man.
it at?
I saved it just for you.
Oh, man. You gonna let me open it?
Yeah, man.
Oh, that's awesome.
Hey, pull the mic. I'm going to go ahead and start.
Oh, check this out, man. This is awesome.
Let me record the moment here.
Ladies and gentlemen. Uh-oh.
What is this?
Okay, so you want me to read this first?
Yeah.
It says on this card, it says, congratulations on your subscriber milestone. We are honored to take part in recognizing your achievement and want your experience to be exceptional. This award was inspected and packaged with great care by Rick. If your award was damaged during shipping, blah, blah, blah.
Hey, let me see that card again. I gotta zoom on. Yeah. Okay.
And then right here, there's a letter. The letter says, you've just done something that very few YouTube creators accomplish. You had an astonishing 100,000 people subscribe to your channel. We know that numbers on YouTube can get really big, but we hope that you don't lose sight of the reality behind that 6-digit milestone. Each and every person who has subscribed to your channel has been touched by what you created. They were inspired, challenged, or entertained. You achieved this milestone with hard work, perseverance, and probably a healthy sense of humor too, if I could say that right. What you've accomplished can't be taken away from you, and we'd like to recognize you and all your hard work with this Silver Creator Award, a small token of our esteem and respect. We know that you don't do this for rewards. You do it because you have a drive to create and share, and because you found an audience who cares. Believe us, when we say that we can't wait to see what you do next, 1 million subscribers may seem a long way off right now, but you're closer than you think, and we're rooting for you. Congratulations. Yours sincerely, Susan Washington again. There it is, baby. There it is. 100,000 subscribers. Oh, yeah. Now, where are we going to hang this thing?
So I'll stop it right there.
Yeah, baby.
This is Magic Hour Talk Show, episode 7. And as you guys can see, I did put it on the wall behind me. I had to get rid of my TIE Fighter because I wasn't going to get rid of my Captain America shield. That's for damn sure. So I had to sacrifice the TIE Fighter. It's over there on the desk over there.
Yeah, it's still in the room.
It's here
in spirit.
It's here in spirit. Yeah, we made that, we actually made that video like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I think it was 2 weeks ago.
So I've been sitting on it because I wanted to do I watched it and I was like, this is kind of lame the way we set it up. We were going to do this whole thing where I was calling you and you're like, don't open it. And then I was going to be sitting and I still might do this because I just got lazy. But I was going to be sitting in here trying not to open it. I was going to be watching all these shows. And I was keep looking over, and play the sinister music.
Have it whispering to me.
Yeah, it'd be whispering to me. And I'm zooming in on it.
Open me, Paul.
And going back and
me.
forth. I was going to do all of that. And I was like, that's just...
And that's kind of the way it was too, though. When you really told me that it came,
yeah.
And I was like, "Do not open it. Do not open it until I get there."
Problem is, I didn't have any cameras on, so we got to kind of recreate the moment,
right?
But I'm gonna release that video, and then because we didn't watch the whole thing, I'm gonna release it in the entirety as a behind the curtain show sometime in the future.
Okay.
So anybody who's interested in watching it can go ahead and watch it.
Next stop, 1 million subscribers.
Man, it would be so great to get 1 million subscribers.
Yeah. My daughter, it's funny that this whole time that you and I have been working on this together, I never got any respect from her as far as, us being YouTubers,
Yeah.
And
we were talking about this.
She kept saying, like, well, talk to me when you get to 10,000. Okay, well, talk to me when you get to 100,000. And then we hit 100,000, and then she's like, well, talk to me when you get monetized. And so then we got monetized, and then she's like, talk to me when you get your play button. And I was like, guess what? You got to call me over YouTuber now because we got our play button. And so she's like, I have nothing to argue with you about. You're right.
We've slayed all the dragons.
Yeah.
No, I found at work, I used to tell people I had a channel, and they're like, yeah, you should, I tell them. I used to beg them to watch it when we wasn't getting any views. But then, I got like 40,000 subscribers, and I stopped begging people to watch it. And I stopped just talking about it, and just people like discover it from themselves.
Yeah,
because I told so many people in the beginning.
Some people know,
and now they look and they see me posting on Facebook about it, all my shows, and I posted a thing when we hit 100,000, and so they've all seen. All the people I'm friends with have seen that, and I've been taking, but then I got monetized, and I told because Dave works with me, Handsome Dave works with me. I didn't really tell a lot of people. I told a couple of people. He went and told everybody at work. And I'm getting mad respect now. This
Me
guy,
too.
I've been talking to this guy about my channel for a freaking year. And he never went to look at it until I got monetized. And then all of a sudden he says, oh man, your channel's pretty good. Like, man, I've been telling you that.
And then here comes the advice.
Yeah, oh God, I've been getting all kind of... Yeah.
Yeah, my coworkers do that too. You know what you should do?
Yeah.
This is what you should do. But a lot of them are a lot of them are good ideas. So I'm like, oh, let me write that down. And some of them aren't so good. So
some of them are, some of it is just people telling you what's popular, and they think just because it's popular that you can do it and replicate that success. But that isn't always the case. There's that first to market advantage that some people have.
Right.
If you're the first person to do something, you're going to be successful a lot of times because no one else is doing it.
Well,
but once some people are copying you, the people copying you aren't going to be as successful.
No, you want to be unique. You want to bring something to the table that, in a different way. You want to cover popular topics. I mean, this is what we're learning as we go. You want to cover popular topics, but you want to also be yourself and do your own thing instead of copying everybody else. But the other side of that is if you're already successful, and YouTube is a fickle beast. And if you're already successful, then YouTube is going to continue to help you stay successful. So when you're running out of ideas, then you just do what's trending and you're going to get the views because you're already established. And that's why these big guys all copy each other, because they're uploading every day. That would be hard to come up with 300 plus topics a year.
I could upload every day. I'm almost doing that now.
Right. What are we doing, like 3 a week? 3 or 4 a week?
More than that. I mean,
on average, I think it's...
I know how to do it. The question is, is your audience receptive to that? And our problem is we have a lot... Well, maybe we shouldn't talk about this on camera. About what our problems are.
Right.
I'll skip that.
Yeah.
I can drop something every day if I needed to. But at the same time, I would like people to watch something very much like when I put up a talk show episode that's an hour long. I don't want to put that up for a day. I want people to actually watch that.
Right, you want to give them, yeah. And
even if it takes them 3 days to watch it, go, watch it, watch a few minutes, watch like 20 minutes of it at a time or whatever.
Right. It's all part of the equation that we're trying to figure out.
Well, yesterday I put up a clip from the last talk show I did with Handsome Dave where we maxed out a Mac Pro. And I was thinking, because I know people don't watch the end of an hour-long video. Right. They'll watch the first 30 minutes, maybe, if they like long videos, but they won't watch the whole thing. I don't even do that. Like, I watch a Joe Rogan interview. I might watch the first 30 minutes. But then I'll watch, he did something and I don't know if he was the first person to do it. He started making clips, topic-based clips from his interviews.
Right.
They would talk about all these subjects, and he would put that up as a clip. And a lot of people do that. So I did that because we maxed out this Mac Pro, and it wasn't scripted or anything. We really were just riffing on some stuff. Handsome Dave is always making fun of Apple. He knows I'm an Apple user. Right. And I don't really care. I don't really care if people think I'm a fool because I like Apple. I don't care. I'm at that. When I was younger, I cared about stuff like that. I would get in these long drawn out arguments about who was better, Mac or Windows.
That's when the commercials were out.
Yeah. I would get in, dude, I had some freaking
heated
arguments with people. And then Apple actually won, if you think about it. They became, they killed everybody with the iPhone, and they became the first $1 trillion company in market cap. So it got to the point where I didn't have to argue with people about it because they were the big dog they needed no defending when you're the big dog.
You know what the biggest evidence of them winning is? That they can charge $6,000 for a PC and people buy it. I mean, that when you've created a brand with the loyalty to pay,
but they were doing that before
two or three times the amount of PC that does the same thing.
They were doing that years before they won.
I mean, they're doing it with their phones too. I mean, it's and iPad Pro $1,300.
But when you get older, and trust me, when you get as old as we are, you're like, why am I wasting my time on this frivolous bull?
Yeah.
I could die of a heart attack tomorrow, and I'm arguing about who has the best computer.
Hey, if I wanted to argue, I'd stay home.
But it just got ridiculous.
Just kidding,
to the point,
Caroline.
And I just stopped all that. I was like, some people's like, Apple sucks. I'm like, okay, yeah. That's interesting. Tell me more. I'll have a conversation with him, but like I did with Ansel Day, I said, let's go and max that Mac Pro out. Because I knew it was going to be hilarious because I've done it before. And I know how much they charge for stuff. So I knew it was going to be outrageous. And that was just...
But now, admittedly, I'm a PC guy. I mean, and it's just a sheer out of necessity for being able to, in my opinion, get more machine for the money.
I used to be a PC guy. I used to build PCs. I didn't start using Macs until I went to film school. I wanted affordable video editing software, and I asked all the fellow students, what's the cheapest, because there was two things back then. This was before Adobe Premiere. There was only two options available. There was Avid. Avid was thousands of dollars, though. It's what they use in Hollywood. And there was Final Cut Pro, and I was like, they were like, you need to use Final Cut Pro. I was like, okay, where do I get it? Oh, you have to go to the Apple store to get it. I'm like, the Apple store? And I hated Apple, even though I didn't know much about them.
You're a convert.
And I had to buy a Mac to get Final Cut Pro. And I was still using PCs because I was a gamer back then. I was still using PCs for years after that. but I was using the Mac too, and I was editing short films on the Mac, and I got to the point where I was liking it more and more. I never had trouble. Like when I had my PC, the first thing I would do every morning was run virus scans.
Yeah.
Every morning. And I wasn't doing that with my Mac.
Yeah, that is true.
And then what happened was eventually I got a virus and it killed my PC. And I was like, you know what? Why am I putting up with this bull? And this was the same year that Apple switched to Intel processors.
Right.
So I knew the next version of Macs were going to be able to run Windows. And that's what happened. I was like, so why am I building PCs? I can buy a Mac, and if I need Windows, I need games or whatever, I could boot into Windows and just play a game, then but go back into this environment that I had grown to love. And I've been using Macs ever since.
Well, Apple has always been the artist's choice of PC or artist's choice of machine, because I think that's kind of their grassroots. You know, that they've always when they are engineering.
Dude, if you're in let's say you're in a artist-like environment, like you're in a design firm somewhere, your client walks in, he wants to see you using a Mac. Mm-hmm. They're beautiful computers. He wants somebody he's going to hire, a designer, to see this.
And they're very, as long as you use all their products, like if you're, you know, as long as you're using other Apple stuff, it syncs very easy to each other. They talk to each other very, very well. Whereas trying to get an iPhone to talk to a PC, and you know, that's not so cut and dry. That's one of the advantages. So if you're doing things on any kind of Apple device that you need to transfer to the computer, which I do all the time because the cameras on the iPhones are so good, it's seamless. Where you're trudging through the mud when you're trying to transfer things from iPhone to PC.
Yeah.
So like they do a beautiful job. And their products last. One of the things, and I'm sure, you know, Dave...
This computer right here, I bought this in 2009. Still works perfectly fine.
Yeah, that's 11 years old.
Yeah, I had to replace one thing on it. The video card went bad. I took it to the Apple Store. They fixed it in 2 days. I got it back. I put a flash drive in it.
That's what I'm saying. They make,
and the hard drive in it wasn't bad. I wanted to boot faster.
Right.
I like flash drives, so I put a 1 terabyte flash drive in that one just to do it because I don't really use it because I got this newer Mac. But you know, if this Mac ever goes down, I can still get on the internet at least. But yeah, before that I had a G3. And it's in my attic. I think the power supply went out on that one, and I just it was using a power PC processor, so it wasn't any good. I mean, as far as being able
and it's probably not upgrading anymore. The software
you can't upgrade it.
You can't run a current OS on it.
No, you can't. You can't. Really couldn't do anything.
Does that one have a current OS on it, or is that an older?
I think it stopped at. You can see it about this Mac. El Capitan is the last one that they let me upgrade. Because I tried to... They will cut you out at a certain point.
Right, yeah.
And yeah, El Capitan, whatever that was. What is it? OS 10, 10.11.6.
Which is still relatively close, you know, for it being an 11-year-old PC.
It's still a good
I'm sorry,
computer.
I keep saying PC.
But dude, one of the things that really killed me, and when I go back to use this, is the screen resolution. Man, I got that freaking, what do they call it?
Retina display.
Retina display on this new Mac.
Right.
And
It's
when it's like when I go back to this computer,
like looking at a coloring book.
yeah, it's like when you go look at an old video game.
Yeah,
Like
2D.
Me and Handsome Dave was in the last episode. We were looking at that original Halo game, and at the time, it was awesome when that game came out. It looked so great, but now you look at you're like, God, that thing looks like shit,
Dude. Like the current quality of video now and graphics. My daughter is playing Red Dead 2 online.
Yeah.
The graphics are ridiculous on that thing.
Man.
I mean, it is ridiculous. And I can only imagine what it's going to look like on the PS5.
Dude, 10 years from now, you're going to look at that Red Dead Redemption like, that thing looked like ass.
I think we'll have like implants in our eyeballs by then.
It's going
Be
to look
like
so bad.
80K or something. But yeah, man, I built a PC because, you know, it was more affordable. But I have nothing against Mac. I mean, I carry an iPhone. If I just had unlimited funds, I probably would buy a Mac, and I probably would use Final Cut Pro versus Premiere Pro. But, you know, we do what we must.
Well, I was talking to you about building me a PC.
Yeah, we're still going to do
and
that.
the only reason I wanted to get one was there was a problem with Boot Camp on what am I right? See, I don't keep up with I don't watch Macworld. Like I used to watch Macworld religiously, and now this is Mojave. I haven't even upgraded to the next one because they got rid of some stuff that I use all the time, like iTunes. I use iTunes for a lot of stuff, and they got rid of iTunes. So I'm like, I don't know if my setup's gonna.
What
work.
are they doing in place of iTunes?
Well, they just they got an app for everything now.
Oh yeah, like Apple Music and
yeah, they got just like the iPhone.
Right.
Like on the iPhone, you don't have iTunes. You have the music.
Right. Yeah. Just the apps.
Podcast app and book app and everything separate. So I don't know. I got my setup exactly the way I want it, and it works for me, and I don't want to mess that up because I've heard that some of the like you can't like use some of the old software unless it's 64-bit or something.
Right.
So I'm not sure. There's a lot of apps I use.
Yeah,
all the time. I'm not sure all of them will be compatible with the new. What's the new version called? I don't even know.
I'm not sure either. I just update my phone when it says there's an update available.
Let's see. It is. What's it called? Let me check my software update. It'll tell me there. Because it keeps reminding me I need an update. Oh, come on. We're doing a show. Catalina. 8 gigabytes.
Dang. That is quite the upgrade there.
Oh, this is the one. And I usually don't upgrade till the third version comes out. And it's already here. I didn't even realize that. I need to. Because by the third version, they worked out all the kinks and stuff.
I'm really interested to see when the next drop of the phone that actually changes the game is going to happen. Like every time we get a new version of the iPhone or Samsung Galaxy, whatever, it's just slightly different than the last one.
Dude, I'm still using this phone right here. This is I still got a button on my phone.
Oh, me too. I'm still rocking the 8.
I don't care about the new ones. It's like, okay, you got face.
That's what I'm saying, man. It's like
it's gotten to the point. Yeah, they keep adding stuff, but it's like they've gotten to a point where there's nothing else they can. It's not significant enough for you just to. Because this is like a 7.
Yeah, I mean, if your phone and how much they cost now. I mean,
but I have a bunch of iPhones.
I know you do.
I got all, because I got all my daughter's old phones. because she always gets the newest one. She's got an 11.
Right.
So I take all her old, and we don't like trade them in. We just keep them. So I got all her old phones. So I got an iPhone 10. I got 2 iPhone 8s. So,
but do you believe?
I just like this phone.
Do you believe that they have like held in reserve, like phones that are so much more advanced than the ones they're releasing? That they have them, but they're holding on so that they can just release a little bit to maximize the amount of money they make? Do you think that's the way that works?
The way their development cycle works at Apple, they've already designed the phone that they're gonna put out 2 years, because it takes that long for them to put it in the supply, get it set up with the suppliers and stuff,
right?
Because it's all made in China, and so they're always 2 years ahead. That's why sometimes Samsung will release something new or strange, and they're like, "Ooh, what is Apple going to do to respond to that?" And they're not going to do nothing for 2 years because they've already got that stuff in the pipeline.
Right.
So it's like
already put too much money.
It's like when Samsung start putting out those big ass phones with the big screens, and Apple was still doing like, what was it, 3.5 inches phones?
Right.
They didn't respond to that until it was like 2 years later. Because they couldn't.
They had to develop.
They already had the next phones developed.
Well,
so they can't turn on a dime like that. And now Samsung has that little flip thing. That seems gimmicky.
It's a gimmick. Yeah, it's a gimmick. They've already shown, there were several YouTubers that showed that who got early access to that, as that it does not work like they pretend it works.
They get creases in the.
They get creases, visible changes in it. It's impressive that they have figured out how to make an LCD screen that can bend. That's impressive, but they haven't perfected it yet.
Yeah.
But here's to that point, is that they have that, right? They have the ability to make these screens flat. Mm-hmm. How good is it really? In research and development that we haven't seen, and not going to see, because they're going to slowly. Samsung's just trying to stay ahead of Apple, so they have to take these radical.
They sell more phones than Apple. I don't think their profit is more than Apple though.
Yeah, well,
but Apple just don't care. They don't care about their competition because
they're
making freaking a load. They got a dedicated fan base. And I don't care how many freaking commercials Samsung put out mocking Apple users. Those people are not going to...
And I don't care what anybody says. iOS is better than Android. Yeah. It's just better. It's more user-friendly. It's got more beef to it. The iPhones are... just the way they work software-wise is better.
Yeah.
Androids, I'm always my coworkers that are the Samsung people that I constantly make fun of, just because it's fun. They're always like, "Man, my phone just cut off for no reason," or it won't update my email, or it won't do this, or it won't pick up the Wi-Fi in here. And I'm like, my iPhone's working just fine.
I'm not even dogging on freaking Samsung. I just don't care. I just don't care. Use a Samsung phone. You got a Samsung? I got this girl at work who loves Samsung, and she's always telling me about how great it was. I'm like, that's great. I'm glad you love your phone. It's a freaking phone. Okay?
It's a little pocket computer.
I mean, you're acting like it's... Oh, God.
You're right, though.
What's this cult of personality?
I only get into those arguments just because it's fun to... and they're not serious.
In the beginning when the iPhone came out, it was now it's just, we take it for granted now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It does nothing for me now.
We need a big, shocking, technological advancement.
My wife gets mad at me when she texts me. I don't reply. I don't carry my phone around all the time. I will leave it in my bedroom and go watch TV and not be on my phone. because I don't care. You know, technology has gotten kind of boring. But
that's what I'm saying.
It's the best it's ever been, but it's kind of boring because I grew up with it. And I don't know, sometimes I wish we could, I kind of miss those days where we didn't have all this crap. And you could go outside. I remember when kids used to play outside. Kids don't play outside anymore, man. I'm always shocked when I see some kids playing outside now. It happens every once in a while. You see some kids riding a bike, we're like, what the?
Well, daggone, now you got to worry about people snatching them off the front
Well, you got to worry
yard.
about everything, man.
You
You got to worry about people just killing people, mass shootings, and all kind of dumb. People are just. I don't know what's going on with people. I wanted to talk about a couple of things. Now, we've talked about something I didn't even see how we can go out on tangents like that. I didn't even envision we're going to talk about Apple and Samsung and all PCs.
And we're going to become an Apple channel. two talk shows in a row where that was a topic of conversation. But what you got now?
So, we've had some leaks from they're shooting the Batman, I think it's going to be called. This is obviously not Robert. What's that guy's name? Robert Pattinson. This is actually a stunt. This has got to be a stunt, though.
Yeah, I was like, that does not look like Robert Pattinson to me.
So, I
don't like the eye holes, man. What's going on with his eye holes?
Well, apparently somebody captured this in Glasgow, Scotland. It's crazy how they shoot all these movies when they need a grim look. They need a lot of fog. They go to Britain.
Yeah,
because they always have fog. So
it's cheaper to shoot movies in Europe than it is in the United States.
What do you think of this motorcycle? What do you think of this whole look?
Well, okay, I'm on the fence.
What is these things on his arm? Some kind
looks
of missiles?
like rockets or something, little rockets. The motorcycle looks pretty much like, your traditional bat cycle. All this armor plating stuff he's got all over him, that's interesting. That's not the usual bat attire. But now, correct me if I'm wrong. This one is set in an earlier time period, correct?
Is it? I don't know.
See, because this is going back to I think this is an ode to the original Detective Comics Batman.
Okay.
It's been around for 80 years, and it just celebrated Batman has celebrated its 80th year. And I think that, there was a time when, and I could be way off, but right there it said something about his earliest adventures. Right there. 0 year followed Batman on his earliest adventures against the original Red Hood, who eventually became the Joker. And finally against the Riddler, who turned Gotham City into an electricity-less prison where he tortured residents with egomaniacal quizzing for months on end.
Paul Dano will play the Riddler. I can't stand that guy. Ugh.
Who is that?
He's that guy that played the preacher in There Will Be Blood. That kid preacher.
Oh yeah.
He's a good actor, but he always plays these characters you hate, and naturally you start to project it onto the actor himself. He's always playing some just annoying character.
So Zoe Kravitz should do pretty good as Catwoman. Colin Farrell as Penguin. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's weird.
I kind of like him. I can go either way with him as an actor. There's some stuff that he did really well, like in The Gentleman.
I forgot about that.
He did really well in that.
He did do well in that.
So this should be good. I can't get on board with Robert Pattinson, Mr. Twilight, Twinkle Vampire. I can't get on board with him as Batman. But you go back to the days of Michael Keaton, you know, when they announced that he got the role as Batman, and I was like, he's a comedian. How is
Dude, nobody thinks nobody was on board with Heath Ledger,
the best?
and he killed it. No one was on board with who else was
George Clooney.
Well, George Clooney was terrible. Actually, people was on board with George Clooney. He turned out to be terrible. So it's like when I'll get suspicious when people are actually on board now.
And who was it? It was what was
there was somebody else though that they were kind of ragging.
Christian Bale.
Maybe no, it wasn't Christian Bale. Well,
I thought he did a pretty good job.
He did good. Maybe I think it was maybe Joaquin Phoenix. People thought he didn't like him for the Joker. I still don't like him for the Joker.
I didn't like that movie.
But a lot of people are like, "Oh, he's so great."
Well, he got all his recognition. He got enough recognition from it that he agreed to do another one. So, you know, we'll be seeing him back.
So is he going to interact with this Batman?
Not
because you know that Joker was back in the 70s or something. So if his Batman is in the past somewhat,
like 40s
he could interact with that Joker.
Potentially. We'll
Potentially.
see.
Because I'd never heard what you just said. I didn't know that.
Well, I don't know for a fact that he's agreed, but I know that they were in talks for him doing another one. And I think that it was all predicated on how well he was received as the Joker in this movie.
Yeah. Well, a lot of people liked him. A lot of people liked that. I don't know. I just didn't like it myself. So, whatever. And the final thing I wanted to talk about was the coronavirus. Because I noticed you stopped drinking Corona.
Man, it's all in the marketing.
Why are they calling it the coronavirus?
I have no idea.
Because that's not the name of the town that it started.
Actually, they have officially changed the name.
I would be pissed off if I was whoever makes Corona.
Yeah,
like, what the hell?
The Modelo, I think it's Modelo.
I bet you people aren't buying Corona now because of that virus. They think it has because people are stupid.
Oh yeah, yeah. But those people shouldn't be drinking anyway.
It's like Corona. Why, dude? And I was listening to this dude, and it's scary.
It really
because it's showing up in places. And they don't even have a connection to China. It's like they don't even have travelers from China in these areas. It's showing up in Italy,
it's
France.
So crazy the way that this thing has an incubation period of like 14 days.
So they're trying to figure out how is it getting to these different places out of China?
It's probably unorthodox travel.
We're just listening to this.
Questions that are all beneath your pay grade, so indulge me. Straightforward questions that are all beneath your pay grade, so indulge me. What is a pandemic, and how do we know when we're in the midst of one?
Well, a pandemic is when you have an infectious disease that is being consistently and sustained transmission from person to person through a wide range of regions, countries, and areas of the globe. So, for example, in China, it's an epidemic because it's concentrated in China. But once you start to get other countries in which you have sustained transmissibility, then you really have the makings of a pandemic. Pan meaning wide, it's widely distributed.
Okay, I don't want to get too deep.
I just have a question. Go back, stop on that map.
That map. Look at this map, man. So this is what I'm thinking. I'm going down there to Chile.
That's what I was saying. I'm like,
but look, because we don't have to cross an ocean or anything to get down there. Just drive down through Mexico. I'm going all the way to that mountain range. And I'm going to live in a shack for the next 10 years and not have any interaction with anybody. And I will
You only
survive.
need to stay there for a couple of weeks, man. You know. Yeah. It's only a 14-day incubation period.
Dude, this stuff is scary.
It is scary. It only has a fatality rate of, I think it's 2 or 3%. But I say that. But when you have, I'm not
that
sure.
makes me feel better though. It really does.
I think that
What that tells me is probably killing old people or people whose immune systems are compromised already.
Killed in the 20,000s, but that's worldwide. And most of that is all in China. Most of that's in China. I think there's been one American death. There's been a handful, and I'm talking off for the last time I checked the analytics of this, was there's been several positive tests of Americans, but there's only been one death associated with it. Because the people who are traveling, you're right on, it's highly deadly to small children and older adults. But the problem is that it sits dormant in your systems for 14 days. So imagine the amount of traveling you can do, and you're contagious during that incubation period.
Oh my God.
So the best thing that we can do to combat it here is, if you're going to a public place, make sure you're sanitizing. Door handles, elevator buttons. If you're touching that stuff, then you need to be washing your hands a lot. And that goes for a lot of things. I work in a hospital, so there's all kinds of different illnesses that you can get in a hospital. And it's just good form to wash your hands and not be touching doorknobs and putting your hands on your face and that type of stuff.
Dude, this is Walking Dead stuff right here. Let me look at that.
This is dead stuff. I mean, I don't think anybody's coming back from this one.
But man, I bet the people in Africa are laughing.
But now,
usually this stuff starts in places like Africa, like AIDS.
And you have to
look at Africa. Nobody's has it in Africa.
And you have to keep in mind two things, okay? A lot of the countries in Africa and South America are not allowing information out to the world.
Oh, so they might have it.
They might have it, but they're not releasing it. They don't want the the World WHO, World Health Organization. They don't want it in their business. And just because a country is red, this kind of gives you that feel of every time you've ever seen a pandemic movie, that as the virus spreads, it covers the whole country. Yeah. But just because that country's lit up doesn't mean there could be one case in that country, So, but it's never a bad idea to be prepared and be careful. But
the problem is I have to go to work. And I work around lots and lots of people.
And where you work, there's a lot of travel in and out of the country.
Yes.
So, yeah, I would just be extra careful, man. Just, wear gloves. Do y'all wear gloves during work?
You can.
I would.
I don't wear gloves.
I would. But I think that overall, and I've watched a lot of shows on this, that they have it relatively contained. Wuhan, China is where it originated. And they think over there in Asia, they eat everything. If it moves, they kill it and eat it.
Yep.
And that's what happens when you have 1 billion people to feed. The food pool goes much deeper there. But from what I understand is that there were these bats that were feeding on the blood of other animals like swine. Because this is a derivative of like the swine flu. H1N1, bird flu, it's these bats were feeding on the blood of something other animal that was infected with this virus, then humans consume those bats. And then, so on and so forth. And then there's 200 to 300,000 cases in the world. There's 25,000 people have died from it. That's still a lot, but I think in the United States, like they've done a good job on international flights, checking people as they come in. If they came from that area, they'd be quarantined. There was a whole cruise ship that had to be quarantined for like 21 days.
Yeah, from Japan.
Yeah, that they didn't let the people, the ship docked, but they didn't let the people off for like 3 weeks. And these are all steps that are taken to prevent it spreading.
The thing I hate about this is you can't see it. I can deal with something if I can see it coming.
Yeah, when you can see the threat coming. Yeah.
Even AIDS wasn't like this. AIDS, you just know, don't have sex.
Unprotected sex.
And you would be relatively safe. This is just...
Which is just common sense anyway.
This is something else, man. This is just...
Well, I got the flu shot. I should be okay. Actually, the flu shot they gave this year, every year there's like one of 3 they give. Mm-hmm. Well, the flu that's going around now is not even the shot I got. And I work at a hospital. So
I need to go get mine. Sometimes it makes you sick though, don't it?
No, that's a wives' tale.
I think I got sick one time, like the week after I had one. That might have just been a coincidence.
Well, I've spoken to different doctors, and there is a differing of opinion on that. I guess it just depends on,
because you get antibodies from the actual
from the virus strain.
Yeah, so you're actually getting something that has interacted with the virus,
but it's not going to give you the full on, having to go stay in the hospital for a week flu. You might get some mild symptoms, that make you feel bad, but it's nothing near what the flu is. The real flu. Like some flus affect upper respiratory, and then the other strain of the flu gives you the stomach stuff, Yeah. So...
Well, we just crossed the hour line, so let's wrap this up. But,
all right. Well, I enjoyed this.
I'm happy we got a little plaque up there. I don't know. I feel the same, like I'm the same person.
Absolutely.
I would like to have some money.
That's the next step.
Awards are fine, but show me the money.
Yeah, I'm glad it's here, but now
because I'm not saying that's why I do it. I do it because it makes me happy. It really does.
Right.
Doing this stuff. If I could do this and but just being able to do it and make money.
Well, and it enables
the icing on the cake, man.
It enables us to do better at it if there's a return.
Yes.
So it's a labor of love.
And
but
your wife will stop bugging you about traveling 30 miles to do this show.
Hey, she's also come on board too, buddy. She's like,
dude,
what?
So there's nothing like success, man. Success will it's nothing like it.
Now, maintaining success, that's the tricky part.
but man, once you get a certain level of success, you start getting all kinds of respect. People stop talking. Well, people still talk shit, but you can shrug and I'm like, okay, whatever.
Hey, isn't that what we always preach, that even negative interaction is good for the channel? So bring it on.
But that's all we got for today. Like, subscribe, comment if you got anything to say. If you have any insults,
I dare you.
Whatever. I mean, that's neither here nor there. We can take insults too, but we'd rather have some comments that actually add to what we've already discussed a little bit. But whatever.
Yeah, and if you're still here at this point in the video, then you must like something about it. So.
Yeah. So go ahead, just take a little extra time. Just go ahead and comment. You know, it costs you nothing, and it means everything to us.
Absolutely.
But that's all we got for today, and we will see you when we see ya. You got anything to add?
See you guys. Thanks for 100,000 subscribers.
Yep. Thanks for watching. We love you guys.